Welcome to the Kindness Project, the podcast designed to share stories of kindness and share how kindness can make positive change in our world, one small act at a time. This time on the Kindness Project, Fandoms, exams, and part one of our interview with Gary Hutton.
Welcome to the Kindness Project.
Hello, Charlotte. How are you?
Not bad, you? How are you, Father?
I'm well, Charlotte. How are you?
Not bad. I think I asked you twice now.
How are you?
How are you?
Very, very good.
Very, very good.
Shall we do our obligatory introduction of the podcast?
They are getting harder to do, yes.
I'm joined by a girl whose Instagram feed is full of Facebook. No, I've got that wrong. A girl whose Instagram page is full of fandoms, family and food. It's Charlotte Days.
Well, I'm surprised you managed to pull the word fandoms out.
Fandoms is a great one.
I love the word fandoms. It's like I'm part of so many fandoms. Like,
what's your favourite fandom?
Oh, you can't ask a fangirl that.
Now Doctor Who's back. Surely Doctor Who is the most prevalent fandom, isn't it? Bradley Walsh is pretty awesome as well, isn't it?
See, you'd be wrong with that because the Voltron fandom is stirring up because they just finished the voice recording for the last season.
Ooh.
So there's posts all over from the voice actors for that. It's December we get the last season. It's very sad.
Yeah.
Very upset.
Would you like to do an introduction?
Yes, sorry. The man who loved his time at school so much, he's still taking exams.
That is true. I literally, last week I finished a set of exams in a day that was involved 3 hours writing in the morning and 2 hours in the afternoon.
Oh, that's too much.
I can't say I particularly enjoyed it, but one thing I did do is I did grow a beard while I was studying. So the exams on the Wednesday, on the Monday and Tuesday I studied, on the Saturday and Sunday I studied, and the Friday I studied, and 5 days growth for me is enough to grow a bit of a beard, right?
Sure, I'm sure you were hibernating in your study longer than that.
I think I was definitely studying for longer than those 5 days, but I was really intensively studying.
Yeah.
For those days. And I didn't have a shave, grew a beard, needed a haircut, and basically looks like Grizzly Adams, like this bloke who needed.
Like the guy from Evan Almighty when he started growing the beard.
I'm surprised they let me in the exam hall because they must have think, who's this sort of man who's just wandered off the street just to take an exam. Anyway, I celebrated my exam taking by having a turkey shave, and I said to the man who runs the premises in my office, I'm going for a turkey shave. And the man who runs the premises in my office is a man called Dave. He went, what do you mean a Turkish Dave? No, not a Turkish Dave. There's no such thing as a Turkish Dave.
Turkish shave.
It's a Turkish shave.
You quite love those Turkish shaves, didn't you?
You know what? There was that's like a bloke's pamper in a Turkish shave. Going in, good haircut. I haven't got much of the hair left, but I'm sort of.
He's working with it.
I'm working with it, and a good old Turkish shave with a hot towel at the end is incredible.
So you're losing it, and I'm gaining it.
You are?
Yeah.
Are you talking about your legs again?
Oh, okay, that makes up for my last burn.
Yeah, you're growing your hair out in a minute, aren't you?
I am.
From short to long, it's all good. So tell us about your Instagram feed. What else have you got on your Instagram feed?
My Instagram feed, my Instagram feed, you've hit the nail on the head there. Like, the pictures I post, it's just stuff I find online and pictures I take with my friends and pictures of like really gross foods I find and
gross food.
And sometimes I take pictures of nice foods, but I don't do the thing where it's like take pictures of every meal. No, that's just weird. You just take pictures of the stuff that looks nice or the stuff that looks awful.
When do you take pictures of gross food? When Mummy dishes it up?
No, Mum never dishes up gross food. She always dishes up lovely food,
okay.
But it's like it tastes nice. It's just not very eye appealing, and I won't take pictures of it. But the kind of foods I've taken pictures of was when that one time I had Cheerios in a mug. I took pictures of that.
That's not food. Cheerios in a mug.
That one time,
Cheerios in a mug.
that one time, I made myself a sandwich and a hot chocolate, and I was trying to tell whose lunch was better, me or Jack's, because that's fun. And that one time, Jack ate Cheerios out of a bag, but he put milk in the bag as well, and he put the spoon in, and it was
that is disgusting.
And I haven't really posted much pictures of food otherwise, and then I post pictures that I take with my friends, and I post pictures of sunrises and beautiful things, and then then there's me, and I just kind of have like a daily quote I put on there, or something that just kind of pops into my head.
You've got that little chalkboard.
Yeah. Right now, it pretty much it says. I can't remember what it says. I think it says step out of your comfort zone. There's a great big world out there. But I'm not sure. I might have changed it.
I like it. So that's an insight to it for our listeners into your Instagram feed.
Yes.
Which is all good.
Happily follow me on Instagram at Quaxelquaddle.
At the what? What?
Quaxelquaddle. It's like Quetzalcoatl, which is an Aztec god, but it says quack instead, and my picture is a duck, which is so cute.
Okay, so that's Charlotte on Instagram, but if people don't want to follow at Quaxelquaddle or whatever it is, how do they get in touch with this show, The Kindness Project?
Okay, Twitter, Honor Kindness. I don't know if we have an Instagram because
we haven't got an Instagram.
We should. I think we do.
Oh, we do? We have got an Instagram.
I don't know.
Russell, get it.
Do we have an Instagram?
We have an Instagram.
And can I run it? Because I'm pretty boss.
Yeah, because Charlotte would immediately change the name from at Honor Kindness to at Dong. I'm not convinced that noise I've ever made before. Dong.
I'm not convinced I can spell that.
I'm not convinced Instagram will let us have that either. At Dong. So.
I've done the Twitter.
Holokindness you can get.
Yes. You're just gonna type Holokindness into Facebook, it will come up. Don't worry about all the other.
Email holla@thekindnessproject.co.uk.
And the website is www.thekindnessproject.co.uk.
And you can find loads of really awesome stuff on there, including every single one of our previous 41 episodes.
But not exclusive to.
But not exclusive to. You can find anywhere. iTunes, Spotify. We're on. We're on Spotify.
Spotify.
We're all over the shop. We're all over the shop. However, what we'd like you to do, dear listeners, is get in touch with us with an answer to our latest question of the podcast,
which is,
what's the best fairground ride you've ever been on?
The Walters.
Well, the Walters and Walton, do you reckon?
Like any Walters.
Oh, right, okay. So, why did you just...
my phone was buzzing, but it's all the way over there, and I had to go and click.
Can I give you a little tip about podcasting? If your phone's buzzing or not, you don't go and answer it.
Didn't answer it, turned it off.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So, the Walters. I think the Walters at Walton are the best Walters, don't you?
Like any Walters where they kind of take your face and push it away.
Well, I like the way you did the physical reaction for a podcast. That works. Take your face and put it away.
You pull your face, actually, you can't say a word, it takes your breath.
I tell you my favourite fairground ride story. The year is 2015. We're in France. Asterix Land.
Oh God! Don't tell this story. Don't tell this story.
We're at Asterix Land. And at Asterix Land, they've got a few smaller rides, but they've got one big ride which has got a double loop-the-loop. And we're wandering around.
Oh, it's a different story. Okay,
did you have a different Asterix Land story you want to share?
No. I didn't want to share it, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut now.
There's a double loop.
Yes, we get it. I dragged you all the way up there and I couldn't get on it because I was terrified.
So I've looked at this double loop. I've got scared, and then Charlotte went to me, actually, Dad, I'd like to go on that. So being the dad who always tries a little bit hard, I said, okay, Charlotte, if you want to go on there, I'll take
we got all the way to the top and I was like, nah.
We queued up for an hour.
It wasn't an hour, it was like half an hour.
And then you looked at this double loop and went, don't want to go on there now, Dad. And then we had to walk back through this queue of about 1 million people.
It didn't take that long.
Going, sorry.
That's not the story I thought you were going to tell, so I'm good.
What story did you think I was going to tell? Remind me, give me a hint on the story.
It's a really small roller coaster.
I don't remember that story.
I'll tell it. I'll just get the embarrassment out of the way. Okay, so Asterix Land, there was a ride right near the end as we were leaving, and you were like, right, we're going to go on this. We're going to get on it. You got to get over it. And I was like, I don't want to. And you put me on, and we went up one of those slopes, and we got to the top. And we started going down. I was like, I'm going to die. I was physically saying, I'm going to die. And you started laughing at me.
Did you die?
No.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Did you wet yourself?
No, nearly.
That story would have been funnier if you wet yourself, to be honest. If somebody...
No.
You were fine.
I was fine.
Sometimes you've got to face your fears, haven't you? And if roller coasters...
If my fear was falling off a cliff, would you tell me to face my fear and push me off a cliff?
I won't push you off a cliff. No, of course I wouldn't. But you might want to try a little abseiling, mightn't you?
No.
That might allay you of the fear of cliffs. There's a difference between facing your fears and ridiculously jumping off a cliff.
Yes, if I'm afraid of silence, should I cut my eardrums out? No.
Sorry, I can't hear you. What did you say? No, obviously not.
Exactly.
So, listeners, we want to hear, what is your favourite fairground ride? Please do let us know at the Kindness Project. And on that note, and while Charlotte drops her pen, let's move on to Kindness News.
Welcome to this week's Kindness News. I am alone, so alone. No, I'm just kidding. I have my good friend, acquaintance.
Dad? Acquaintance? What acquaintance?
Just somebody I met off the street.
Somebody who fathered you.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, we've got Kindness News now, haven't we?
Yeah.
Do you want to know what edition it is?
I don't know.
I'm doing it this week.
I know.
It's Kindness News, Getting Down to Business edition. How about that?
It's too long for a title.
Alright.
I'm going to criticise.
Kindness News, Business edition.
There we go.
So, what I'm going to talk about today is a article that came out in Forbes, which is a business magazine.
I do not read them. What are they?
They're magazines about business.
Oh, sounds interesting.
So it's about innovation, leadership, money, industry, lifestyle. It talks about how to sort of do stuff. And this article says, how purposeful kindness can make you a better leader. Okay? Now, what it talks about is the fact that there is significant evidence to say that people who are kinder, like leaders in business who have more warmth, are more effective than people who lead with aggression and toughness. It's based on research done by Amy Cuddy at Harvard Business School, and it said the link between kindness and great leadership extends beyond just the relationship you have with the employees. Interestingly enough, it could also increase employee performance. Consider this. Researchers at Oxford University analysed hundreds of published papers that studied the relationship between kindness and happiness. They've uncovered 21 studies that explicitly prove that being kind to others makes us happier. Well, we know that already.
We know that.
We know that stuff. It talks about the fact that we should do a number of things in this article to lead at work using kindness. So first one is recognise kindly, so recognise when people are doing a good job. Number two, support kindly, so ask a bit more, how can I help? Number three, give feedback kindly, so don't turn around and go, you're rubbish, turn around and go,
you're trash, mate.
You're trash, mate. That's not kind. The kind way of doing it is to go, help me understand how we can improve and give feedback a bit more sensitively. Four is care. So actually there's plenty. This week's Kindness News is all about saying, in a world where a lot of what we see in terms of business is about being tough and hard and
It's a cruel world.
and cruel, the reality is being a
Kinder person makes for better business.
Makes for a better leader, more motivated employees, and therefore a better business. How about that?
Sounds good, sounds good.
So this week, Charlotte, we've got another interview
Yes.
with a guy called Gary. Gary Hutton, to be precise. I couldn't remember his surname for a minute there.
Just like
Gary runs
blank.
a charity called Products of a Postcode, which helps kids, particularly in the East End of London, understand that there's better ways to live their life than crime.
Okay.
So, a warning before we listen to Gary's interview, he does get a bit sweary, so Russell, I hope you've got the bleep machine now.
Oh, the magical bleep machine.
Apparently we've got a bleep machine, I didn't know that, because it does get a bit sweary, but that's because Gary's experience comes from an incredible story that he tells that I wanted him to share with us in full. Would you like to listen?
Yes.
So I'm joined today by Gary. Thanks for coming along and agreeing to be interviewed, Gary. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
So I first heard about Products of a Postcode at a business event that you came and spoke to a bunch of business owners and lawyers and accountants and stuff like that at. I downloaded your book, which has sat on my Kindle now for about a year, and I still haven't read it, but I'll get round to it, I promise.
It's been a great journey with that book.
Yeah.
The reviews on Amazon are just unbelievable.
How did you come about writing it?
So, it's quite a good story.
Okay.
So, I lived a dysfunctional life.
Okay.
I was one of 11 kids, and I was brought up in Brick Lane. My parents was Irish immigrants, and I had a very dysfunctional life. But for the first 7 years of my life, I had a wonderful life.
Yeah.
You know, I was washed, dressed, clothed, church twice a day, so I was taught by Catholic nuns.
Okay.
And the youngest was 18 months old, the oldest was 15, I was 7, and my mum died of leukemia.
Okay.
Now my life turned upside down.
Okay.
I become a street urchin.
Okay.
And I was taught to shoplift by my mentor and role model, which is the person that fathered me, so I could survive. So I thought crime is what you do.
Okay.
And I was only going to school to eat because they was giving away free food.
Free food. Yeah.
Yeah, and they would make me make Mother's Day cards. And, you know, with the rest of the kids, when it was Mother's Day, and when I'm chucking the table up in the air and running about, you know, screaming, shouting, it's very disruptive.
Gotcha.
You know, so, yeah, I just never had no real mentors and role models. And then, I lived a life of crime.
And that started when you were 7?
Yeah, from the
okay.
age of 7. I was first arrested when I was 9 years of age.
Right.
And it just went on like that, you know, being arrested throughout my life. Not too much, but enough.
Okay.
And I ended up involved in major crime in this country. I ended up on the front page of News of the World for £5 million.
Okay.
I was part of the reason we flooded Great Britain and mainland Europe with counterfeit money, travellers' checks and passports.
Okay.
And so this is all explained in the book. So the book is it's a good read.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a really good read. You know, I ended up on the run from prison.
How much did it make you look back?
So why I wrote the book? Just to answer that question. Why I wrote the book? Mickey Flanagan, the comedian. Yeah. He does a joke about Gary Hutton.
Oh, right, okay.
And so my phone used to go, you've got to see this bloke on the telly telling jokes about you, because he was from the East End.
Gotcha.
But I don't know him, so I never knew him. And everyone, you know, the part of the joke is, you dreamer, Hutton. Yeah. So everyone, and even to this day, people think it's me.
Gotcha.
But I phoned up his management company, and
it wasn't you.
No.
Yeah, his fellas talking about you.
No, they was convinced. I said, no, I don't know. And they said to me, of course you do, Gary. I said,
gotcha,
no, look.
Because he talks about you.
Yeah, I said, I'm the only Gary Hutton in the East End of London.
Gotcha.
And I said, I just want to know if I know him.
Yeah.
And then they got back to me the next day and said, Mickey said you can have tickets to anywhere in the country. I said, I don't want tickets.
Yeah, I want to know why you're talking about me if you are. Yeah.
So I never got the answer. So, so that was one of the reasons. And then another reason why I wrote it, and I've never told anyone this, So I'm going to tell you today, and why I set the charity up as well. It was either carry on. Something happened to me. I was hit round the head 7 times with a baseball bat.
Okay.
And the bloke who done it went to the police station, told his life's in danger.
Right.
And because when they tapped my name in, it come up as me. They said to him, "Yeah, your life's in danger."
Right.
And they come and arrested me and kept me for 4 days. I never done that. He said, "I'm going to write about this in the next book." And it was either spend the rest of my life in prison, or do something good in my life and give this up. So before this, I was going around in schools talking about a life without education to young kids. And I was always, you should have, at the end of the you've got to write a book, And then one day this happened to me. They said, I was doing a talk in West London. And at the back of the room, there was this bloke standing there. And after the talk, he come up to me and said, "You've got to write a book about your life." And he gave me his card, and he was a publisher.
Okay, cool.
And he said, "You've got to write a book about your life." I said, "What about it?"
Yeah.
He said, "Like a gangster life." I said, "I'm not a gangster."
Yeah.
I said, "That's so. I'm just a young kid that had no mentors and role models." And
Gotcha.
And he said, "Well, write about that then."
Yeah.
So I did. I wrote about it, and then.
Had you written before?
No.
Okay.
No, it was just I just had to go back in my life.
Just
so I've got
think about the stories.
Yeah, I've got photographic memory.
Okay.
So it's all played out in my head.
Okay.
And so I just wrote it down. But I had to get someone to help me, a woman called Zoe O'Leary.
Okay.
Because my schooling was non-existent.
Gotcha.
And so she put all the full stops and commas.
So did you tell her the stories, or you wrote it?
I wrote it.
And she just checked the grammar and
I sent it to her, and I'd done that 6 days solid.
Gotcha.
And then I forgot about it.
Okay.
And I forgot about it, and I was getting all these emails, but I wasn't reading. I was too busy doing something. And then she phoned me up and she said, "What's wrong?" I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "I'm hooked, and you're not sending me anything."
Gotcha.
She just wanted to read it.
She was reading it. Yeah, gotcha.
And I said, "Oh, I'll send you some more," and I just sent her some more.
Well, now I've heard it from the horse's mouth, Gary. I've got to get round to reading it. I promise I will. So I know you've started telling us a little bit about you. So what was the turning point then? The turning point was, so you're involved in crime. You turn around and think, "Hold on, I've got to think about it." So what made you change the direction that you were taking?
Okay, so I believe you have to go through an extreme.
Okay.
To want to change your life.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
And I tell this to a lot of young people that I mentor and that. I went through an extreme. I ended up in a padded cell and a straitjacket, being pumped with drugs to control me.
Okay.
And this is all in the book.
Yeah.
Something really extreme happened to me in my life. I found out that one person that I put on a pedestal, Jesus Christ, was a paedophile.
Okay.
So it destroyed me, and then a certain sector of the prison population was being set fire to, being beaten.
Yeah.
You can read all this in the book. And but I didn't find that out that the person was a paedophile. But I was doing this, but my subconscious must have known.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, and so I was giving a talk in a university a couple of years ago, and there was a soldier from the Help the Heroes.
Okay.
And he was talking after me, and he said to me, "I need to talk to you." I said, "Why?" He said, "I've got to tell you something, just what you've just said." So I ended up in a psychiatric hospital.
Okay.
Because I closed down.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to tell anyone what was wrong with me, and you know what I mean. So they just said, "He's crazy. Look what he's done. He's crazy." And so I explained in the book. I wrote a chapter called "The Brain Train," and basically what it is, you're sitting on a chair, and you're in a very dark place in your mind, but on the walls beside you, you can see parts of your life flashing in front of you, and you can stop it and you can watch it. So I done that, and then it confirmed to me what I found out, because your subconscious hides things from you, and my subconscious hid something from me, but I actually caught the person that fathered me abusing someone,
right?
And I see it this night in a prison cell.
Gotcha.
And so. Yeah, and so I explained it, but I still didn't know what I was explaining.
Gotcha.
And then this soldier took me outside, we went for a cigarette, and he said to me, "Do you know what happened to you?" So I said, "No, it's never been diagnosed, I never told anyone." He said, "If you explain it the way you've explained it, that's post-traumatic stress disorder."
Yeah.
He said, and that's the first thing. If you go into a psychiatrist and you say to him, "Explain to me what what's going on in your mind," and you're sitting on the like a train, and your life's flashing on there.
PTSD.
Yeah, straight away.
But because PTSD, you assume PTSD is about war or violence, and it can be about anything.
It can be about anything.
You know what's interesting in terms of what you said? How many challenges, and it'd be interesting to understand what happens with kids you work with, but how much of the challenge that they've got is that they do get stuck in their own heads, because you've gone from not wanting to be honest about anything and like sort of and then getting to a stage where you talk about stuff like that quite openly. Yeah. How much of that stuff is because they don't want to be seen to be weak or be seen to be.
So growing up, where a lot of young people, it's facade.
Yeah.
And so you protect yourself. Yeah. So you don't really tell people what's going on in your life. Yeah. You know, people that lived around me didn't know that I was going shoplifting every week, so me and my brothers and sisters could eat. Yeah. They didn't know I was out robbing factories, because all the warehouses and factories that are making all the high street stores, because it was a rag trade. It was known for the rag trade, these them.
That area.
And so no one ever knew what I was doing. You know what I mean? So it's facades. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors. And so it's there's a lot of kids out there that's going through some trauma. If you're waking up every day and your mum's in the kitchen smoking a crack pipe, you can guarantee that she's selling herself as well. Do you know what I mean? And these kids are in the next bedroom.
It's not an environment that you want to live in, is it?
So there's a lot of kids out there that's going to, when they get older, and they're messed up growing up teenagers, when they get older, it's going to come and bite them. And then the realisation of what I've just lived through.
Gotcha.
Because I'm not saying I'm anyone different. A product of a postcode. We're all a product of a postcode from all walks of life. Do you know what I mean? Every single one of us is a product of a postcode. And that doesn't mean crime and things like that. You're a product of a postcode. You've had good mentors growing up. They've introduced you into education. Do you know what I mean? The best thing anyone can ever do for you is wake you up at 7 a.m, get you dressed, give you some breakfast, and send you to school.
Just give you a good start, right? Give you a good start.
Yeah, but there's a lot of young people out there that ain't got that.
There's an element of, I always say this, I've been massively lucky, right? And I think when people talk about, I work hard, and that's fine, but you should never ignore the opportunities you've got as long as you're prepared to take them.
Yeah, but see, you can take that from any walk of life. You can adapt that. To crime. As long as you take the opportunities. Because networking is networking. No matter what you do, if you
certainly. And there's crime networks,
there's
right?
crime
So there's networks in everything.
In everything.
It's just what circle you choose.
It's what you're influenced by.
Absolutely. And
do you know what I mean? The people that influence you.
So you had that real low point. You decided to go, right, I need to change something here. Yeah. Why start a charity?
Right. So my sister, Kim, she was a youth worker. Okay. And she loved sport. Okay. And she used to give a lot of her time to young people in the youth centre that she worked in, in Commercial Street, just by the old Spitalfields Market. Yeah. And it was wayward kids, and her youth work was done in the daytime, because it was all kids that bunked off school.
Gotcha.
And Tower Hamlets would fund it, and they was allowed to bunk off there. Do you know what I used to go there as well?
It's not too bad when it's run by your sister, though, right? You bet you got away with murder.
She wasn't working there. She wasn't working there then. But so I used to go there, and a lot of other people I know. We used to play table tennis all day, and football, things like that. But she'd give up a lot of her time, and she had a brain hemorrhage at 39 years of age, right. And she died. But she was, I found out that she was abused, sexually abused, and then she come to a point where she couldn't handle it anymore, and she went to drink. Okay. And she, it just destroyed her. Yeah. You read in the book, she wasn't believed. I've got, 7 brothers and 3 sisters, and I'm the only one that's believing her, and they're all protecting this person. But this is all in the book. You can read it all. She was a brilliant footballer as a young girl. She was the first girl to be picked for a primary school boys football team. Gotcha. And East London. She was a really good footballer, and so she passed away. And
when was that?
She passed away about 15 years ago now.
Okay.
And so she had a baby, and the baby was 3 months old. And so I took the baby, but I didn't think it was right for my wife to look after her.
Okay.
You don't read about my family in the book. That's not in there.
Okay.
You
decided to...
Yeah, you wouldn't even know I was married and got kids.
Yeah.
And so I didn't think it was right for my wife to look after her.
Okay.
So I'd done it from the age of 3 months old till she was 5, till she went to school.
Okay.
So that helped me change my life.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, so now I'm not...
As soon as you're responsible for somebody else, it changes perspective, right? I know it certainly has for me. Yeah.
And so... But I've already got kids, you know. I've got 6 kids. I'm a granddad. Do you know what I mean? My kids are in their late 20s.
Gotcha.
And so she's 17 now, the youngest one. And so, and she's an amazing young girl. And so, after looking after her, she goes to school, I'll start doing talks in schools and motivational speaking.
Yeah.
And then I've got an addiction. I can't have vast amounts of money. If you give me vast amounts of money, my life spirals out of control.
Gotcha.
So when I wrote the book, I was like, what am I going to do with this? Like, this is going to... I started to get scared. I don't want it.
Yeah. You get scared of succeeding.
Yeah.
To a certain extent,
and so, it's sold all around the world. It's been amazing. And lots of people have contacted me and said, thank you.
Yeah.
For you writing the book. I've been able to tell my husband that I've been abused.
Gotcha.
And he understood and knows why their sex life is like it is.
I think that's massively powerful. If you're sharing your story, it empowers people to turn around and go, you know what?
Yeah.
If Gary can do it, so can I. Do you know what I mean? That sort of thing. So what does the charity focus on? So tell me a bit about the practical work it does.
So the charity, we have a campaign every year, Dreams and Passions campaign, and that's to support 5 young people each year.
Okay.
It's very simply done.
Okay.
So we choose 5 young people. They're teachers, coaches, dance teacher, drama teacher, whoever it is feels that this young person...
So they're nominated, right? The teacher turns around and goes, right, this person deserves it.
Yeah.
Or is it deserves it or needs help?
This person, if they had the help...
Would fly. Yeah, gotcha.
So if I tell you a couple of ones that we've done so far, one young boy wanted to be a vet.
Okay.
And he lived in deep South London.
Yeah.
The only veterinary college in London is in the Angel Islington.
Okay, yeah.
And he wanted to sell drugs. He was from a single parent. He wanted to sell drugs to fund his place.
Gotcha.
Because he just wanted to be a vet.
Yeah.
So we stopped him from selling drugs. We paid his fare of £1,200.
Yeah.
Bought him some clothing, bought him some books, and he finished his first year with a merit.
Awesome.
Yeah. So another young boy, he was nominated by his coach, and the coach asked me to come to his training session, meet the young boy.
Football coach?
No, running.
Running coach,
yeah. This is a 400-metre runner.
Okay.
And so I went along, and I looked at this boy, and I said, yeah, I can help him, no problem.
Okay.
And the coach said, how do you know that? I said, well, look at him. And he said, well, what's wrong? I said, he's got a plastic bag in his hand. I said, he's got a coat that's still hanging off of him. I said, look at his trainers. So I went up to the boy, introduced myself. I said, look, you've been nominated and we think that you're right for it. Yeah. I went back a couple of weeks later, told the charity committee, and I went back to his training. I said, look, we're going to help you. I said, would you meet me Saturday? He said, yeah, no problem. So we bought him a £300 pair of spikes.
Yeah.
Winter and summer clothing for athletics, tracksuits, winter and summer, coats, bags, everything
so you
he
kitted
needed.
him out for training.
Everything he needed. And then I went to his training session 2 weeks later. He was 6 foot taller.
Right.
Now he's got the same as everyone else.
Yeah.
Now his chest is out.
But that confidence that you've given him.
Well, now he's running for his county.
Gotcha. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
So it's very simple things, but you have to come from the background that I come from to understand that that's all you need.
Yeah.
Do you know what? You don't need hundreds of thousands of pounds to change a young person's life. No. It's about what we do is we put them on the path.
But how much is just somebody turning around and going, I believe in you? Like I'm gonna invest some time, some money, some effort, some energy.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you on the path, and every couple of months we're gonna have a chat and see how you're getting on.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So put you on the path.
Yeah.
Have a chat to make sure you still stay there. and then give you the support you need to do that.
And that's young people, like, because if you come from a single parent family, or you know, you can have both parents about, but if you've got siblings, you are not going to be able to pay for all them
exactly.
what they want to do.
Yeah.
So one always misses out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It could be football. There was a young boy, he got picked up by Chelsea.
Yep.
His mum had 3 or 4 kids.
Yeah.
You know, we see that. And, she couldn't see that she needed help.
Yeah, gotcha.
But he ain't going to be able to go training twice a week with Chelsea. And what are you going to do with all these kids?
Yeah.
So we paid all their fare. We made sure he got there. We bought him boots, everything again. He's
just supporting him.
He's been at Chelsea for 2 years now.
Yeah, I love it. Do you so it's really interesting because a couple of examples you gave were sporting examples, and if you're as bad an athlete as I am, I mean, I did my first marathon last year, and I kept on getting calls from the family going, "You do realise there's a fella with a tutu who's just run past. Where are you again?" I'm that bad, Gary, honestly.
Yeah.
But do you think sport? I like sport, not because I'm particularly good, because it just helps me mentally focus. Do you think sport's got a power to change lives?
Well, look, not all of us, say for football, for example, not all people that take part, there's millions of people that take part in football. Yeah. There's only 92 professional clubs in the country.
Yeah.
So, and they've only got 11 first-team players. So, for the amount of people that play football in this country,
there's not going to be that many who get to the top
percentage.
Level. Yeah.
There is a few people that believe the next David Beckham's up in the bedroom playing on PlayStation, but they're not.
Yeah.
So, but sport as that. Now, we fund sport, we fund education, we fund drama, but sport, we might fund someone. He might never make it. We're not saying he's going to make it.
Gotcha.
Do you know what I mean? But it's his dream and his passion. Yeah. So, to take part in your dream and passion, you'll get everything out of it you need. Yeah. You may never be professional. You never may be an athlete. You never may be this. But it will give you the grounding in life that you need.
I think sport teaches a bunch of lessons, though. It's about discipline and grit and persistence and being the best you can be, isn't it?
Do you know, for a lot of people, their mentor and role model, and they would always say, the best teacher in my school was the PE teacher.
Yeah.
He talked in a very real way.
Gotcha.
He inspired you, and that's what sport does.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It inspires you to go and do.
Yeah, no, I love that. Absolutely love that. That's really good answer. And in terms of the work that you do going into schools and talking about specific issues, what's the one that keeps on coming up where you go, why haven't we solved this by now?
It's my pet hate, and it's called gangs.
Okay.
And I can't stand that word. Because what it is, we demonise young people.
Yeah.
So I'm a motivational speaker and I'm a speaker. So if I go in front of a room, there's 300 people, and I say the word gangs, you automatically get a picture in your head of a young black person, all got black clothes on and staring at you.
Gotcha.
This is led by the media. So I'm a government advisor for the Youth Crime Commission, Youth Violent Crime Commission. And I tell them this, and they've used my sound bites and gone into Parliament. In the 80s, this type of young person was called a mugger.
Yeah, gotcha.
In the 90s, we said they was rapists.
Yeah.
So now we're pigeonholing them and we're calling them gangs.
But that doesn't solve the problem, does it?
No, it doesn't solve the problem. But it gives a young person a platform to say, I'm a gang member.
Gotcha.
You're not a gang member. The only gang in the history of the world is called the New York Mafia.
Yeah.
And you have to pay up.
Yeah.
And one sits at the top, he's called a gang star.
Yeah.
A don.
Yeah.
Right? This is not the case in this country.
Gotcha.
If you say to a young person that's out there selling drugs, oh, you in a gang? Yeah, I'm in a gang. Yeah, I'm in a gang. Oh, what, do you have to give someone money? I don't give no one nothing. I earn my own pee.
Yeah, gotcha.
Oh, so you're not in a gang then? No, it's me and my mates.
Yeah.
But what we do is we give them the platform, the media talking about gangs and gangs this and gangs. They don't exist. It's low-level street crime. By disadvantage, disengaged young people.
So what do we do about that?
So, the first thing, we have to stop calling them gangs.
Yeah.
Because we give them a platform to say they're gangs. Now we legalise the things that they're doing in their head because it's part of gang. We initiate girls, so we rape them all.
Right. Yeah.
You're a rapist. Don't legalise this in your head. We're legalise. No, it's part of the gang. Part of the gang. There's no such thing as a gang.
Gotcha.
For hundreds of years, there's been groups of mates on the streets of London. Being involved in any major city in the country. Being involved in low-level street crime. And that's what it is. But as soon as I was in a prison, in a young offenders prison, so I'm very streetwise. And but only my life has given me them tools and the understanding. So I'm in Feltham Young Offenders Prison, and I'm with these so-called gang members. See, I won't talk if I was coming here to do a talk and you had a gang person on there. It's like I won't take part in it because
you're entertaining that concept of
if
gangs.
If I said to you, I work with leprechauns, you'd look at me like I was a nutter. As soon as you tell me you work with gangs, I know you're providing a mortgage for yourself because there's no such thing as gangs. They're just young kids who's disengaged and just got just bad mentors and role models around them.
But that labelling of the issue it's media focused, isn't it? It's like what can we point the finger at and what can we blame?
If I said to the government, I want to work with that on that estate over there with 18 to 24-year-olds that are disengaged, that are neat, not in education, employment and training. I want to work with them. Over a course of 10 weeks, and I want to get them back. I want to get them engaged and get them a job at the end of it. Oh no. No, there's no money for that. If I pointed at the same estate 2 weeks later and said, I want to work with the gangs on it, oh yes, come here, then yes, loads of money. It's a mortgage provider. So I'm not into that. Do you know what I mean? I'm into, correcting real issues.
Because the label is unhelpful, right? Turning around and going, this is a gang.
It's unhelpful for everyone. The young people involved, it's unhelpful. So I was in this Feltham Young Offenders Prison, and so we was talking about pathways. When you get out of prison, what you can do. So this young boy at the back, and he was a young white person, and what people don't realise, the statistics are that a young white person is more than likely to be disengaged than a young black person. And he's more than likely to end up in prison. Do you know what I mean? Where he won't take education as serious as a black person. So this young boy says to me, so we're talking about pathways, and I says to him, so okay, what is it you want to do in life, and how you going to, what path are you going to take? I can't go back to where I live. I said, why is that? Me, pulling his leg. Why is that? And he said, I'm gang affiliated. I said, what's that mean? So he said, I said, explain it to me. I don't know what you're talking about. He said, like, I'm in a gang. I said, what's that mean? He said, me and my mates, right? I said, yeah. Like, we take part in crime. I said, oh, right. And he went, yeah, so me and my mates, we might do this. Me and my mates might do that. I said, you keep saying you and your mates. And he went, yeah. I said, how's that a gang then? Because I had a group of mates like that, but we never called ourselves a gang.
Gotcha.
Everyone's got mates like that.
Gotcha. Do
you know what I mean? He went, I said, so what are you telling me about a gang? Do you have to pay up and all that? He said, no. I said, well, you're not in a gang then? He went, no, I'm not in a gang then.
Gotcha.
He's not in a, now he's admitted he's not in a gang.
So now that's just one bloke who's just there to be helped,
so
right?
The whole room now is not going to say that they're in a gang. Because he looks like an idiot.
Yeah. Because I suppose the minute you're in a gang, you feel that you owe something to that. But verbal arrangement.
It's been going on for hundreds of years. Do you know what I mean? But
so how do we change the language then, Gary, on that? What do we call it? Or don't we?
We don't call them nothing. It's a group of mates. And it's a group of mates for hundreds of years. Do you know? They're just people that just don't want to engage. You're after a quick buck. You all think you're going to become a millionaire through crime. That don't happen. You just become prison fodder. That's why you're sitting where you are.
Gotcha. So let's change that.
Let's change that and talk about it.
How much of that bunch of mates is a replacement for family? So how much of it is like if you're not getting that connection? Listen, you know more about this than me, so I'm here to learn.
So have you ever heard the saying latchkey kids? Right. So that was kids that got in and their latch was left off. Right. Never had a key. Because your mum and dad was out working. And it's happened in this country for hundreds and hundreds of years. Same thing. Latchkey kids, but now we call them gangs. So a lot of people come from this country as immigrants. Happened with my family.
Same as mine.
Right. And so they go to work and they work 18 hours a day. and all they want is the money, so that they can have a nice life for their kids. You come home, you feed yourself, let yourself in, come home from school, there's no one there.
Yeah.
You see it on the telly loads and loads of times. The majority, 99% of the time, you see this on the telly after a young boy's been stabbed.
Yeah.
And the parents are going, he was such a good boy, I always come to church with me on Sunday. That's the only time you see him.
Yeah, gotcha.
So what you do is you replace your family for a group of mates.
Yeah,
so let's get a bag of chips together, let's do this together. Let's Don't think that's gangs.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what we're doing, we're saying, family, gangs.
Yeah.
Stop talking rubbish.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And this is what a lot of people do, but I don't subscribe to it.
Gotcha.
I won't
It's a
subscribe
bunch
to
of
it.
mates.
It's a bunch of mates.
It's a bunch of mates.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Do you know what I mean?
And how often? So what's the most? You go into the school. What's the most challenging question you've ever had one of your audience ask you?
Okay, I was in. This was a brilliant one. We was in Feltham Prison.
Okay.
This wasn't in the school. It was in Feltham Prison, and so it was a couple of hundred inmates in the church.
Okay.
And I'm doing a talk, and there was this young bloke at the front. So I'm Cockney.
Yeah.
And I'm in a young offenders prison, and so the book is used in the library to engage young people.
Gotcha.
And so if they'll read that, then we get them to read something else.
Yeah.
Because it's written how they talk.
In their language. Yeah, gotcha.
How a young Cockney talks.
Yeah.
And so I've done the talk. They've clapped me. I said, "Is there any questions?" And this young bloke put his hand up. He said, "I've read your book, it's brilliant." He said, "I was really engaged, I really got it.
Yeah.
It's making me think about my life." He said, "But what is a pound note?"
That's a good. See, I don't remember pound notes. I'm 40 now. I don't remember a pound note. So that was the interview. First part of the interview from Gary. Second part we're going to listen to next week. But what did you think?
Good so far.
So far, good stuff.
I'm breathing.
How's that breathing working for you?
Not great.
Yeah, breathing on a podcast. That's novel. It's good. It's not meditation podcast. You do know that.
Oh, that would be fun.
Maybe we should do a
Meditation section.
Be kind to yourself. Meditation edition on the podcast.
Yeah, just like we spend the whole time.
Just half hour of this noise. I don't know if it'll work.
Just like breathe in. Begin counting a sheep until you fall asleep.
I don't think there's meditation, darling. I think there's more.
Sleep is good for the soul.
Okay, but meditation and sleep are two different things. Maybe we could do a Be Kind to Yourself meditation episode and a Be Kind to Yourself sleep episode.
Listen to this while you slowly drift into dreamland.
Don't listen to this when you're trying to sleep, because you wake up going, question of the podcast.
Question of the podcast.
So, actually, it's the end of another podcast.
Yes.
At the end.
It's never the end.
It's at the end because we've got to give you last week's answers to the question of the podcast this week. And last week's question was a really, really good one. It was, what's your favourite childhood memory? And we had some photos in. We had some really good answers. So I'm going to start with talking about the what?
Stuff.
Just start talking about the stuff, really.
I'm going to yammer on for 25 minutes.
Mainly childhood memory related. So, favourite memory for
Charlotte's meditation corner.
Charlotte's meditation corner of the week. Right, Terry Lewis was our first contributor this week, who said that her favourite childhood memory is going to Peter Pan's playground.
Oh my God, yes.
In Southend.
Yes.
With her granddad. She loved doing that.
It's generally fun down there.
It is fun down there. Roberta White, who's your nan.
Yes, my nan.
My mother-in-law.
Me nan.
Said playing green sleeves while the Lord of the Manor... Oh, she's not that old. Playing on my lute as the Lord of the Manor sent his brigands round for taxes. No. She said, breaking up for our 6 weeks holiday and hitting the beach every day. The beach was on our doorstep. Brilliant times, and I loved enjoying rock pools. So she lives by the beach now still, doesn't she?
Yeah, she still does.
She still does, so maybe doesn't enjoy it as much as she did, but likes the beach. Karina Murray said, my dad swinging me by the arms like a windmill. I don't know whether there's a health and safety issue there, Karina. I'm just wondering, because I remember when you were little, and we got a call from, you were only 3 or 4 at the time.
Oh, I know this story.
We got a call from your nursery saying your arm had popped out of its socket. And I was like, what? It's like sort of Barbie doll, just your arm popped out. And I had this image of turning up, and just this arm hanging off, and it was hanging off. And we took it to the hospital, and they just massaged it back in place, because apparently child's bones are very...
Poppable.
Once child's bones, once you pop, you can't stop. So, Karina, can you let us know when you listen? Did your arms ever pop out? Because apparently once they pop, they can't stop. Did your arms ever pop out while you were swinging your arms out?
Hashtag child's bones.
Hashtag child's bones. Hashtag once you pop, you can't stop. Can you read the next one? Because I'm sort of...
Alan Bowley? I don't know how to pronounce that.
Alan Bowley, your arms. Alan Bowley, yeah.
He just put rainbow.
Now, rainbow is a reference to a kids' TV show.
I thought we were talking about actual rainbows, but now that you've said that, I actually know what it's talking
Alan,
about.
if you are listening, please let us know whether you just mean actual rainbows.
Or the TV show with the zippy mouth thing.
Did you just call Zippy the zippy mouth thing?
I knew I got something right.
Yeah. Okay, so that...
And the pink dinosaur, I think, is the same one.
Did you just call George a pink dinosaur? How dare you? How dare you? I will swing you right around by your arms until they pop.
Once you pop, you can't stop.
And then Nicola Taylor just had another kids show, and she just went, play school. But Justin Gaffney had an interesting comment. Would you like to read it?
I'm sorry, I think I just scrolled past it. Hearing the opening credits to Wonder Woman and stopping play to come watch, I so wanted to be able to spin around in a flash and turn into something amazing.
And Justin's attached a photo of him dressed up as Wonder Woman. Which is
dream big, man, dream big.
Yeah, dream big, yeah. Maybe you'll be Wonder Woman one day, Justin, and that'll be a ambition fulfilled. But yeah, it went from like sort of playtime childhood memories all the way through to TV childhood memories. And for the end of the podcast, we had... I just want to mention one thing. We had Tracy from the East End Community Foundation on the podcast a few weeks ago now. I think it was about 12 weeks ago. And they're doing some amazing work in the community. My business, Savello, is helping them raise money. We've got an event coming up and we're going to help them raise a bit of cash at the event with our guests. But they're also doing some stuff with West End Football Club, which is very, very exciting. And what we'll do is we'll put some of the work they're doing so you can have a look. And if you're in the East End, was that a good East End? How comes I'm so bad at accents, I can't even do my own accent?
Just do it naturally.
East End.
From the East End.
Please take a look at the show notes because they're doing some incredible work at the minute.
Oh, yup.
And that's it for this week.
It's over.
It's over. It's truly over. So until next week, listeners, we'll see you soon.